Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Sims Tracks Broadcasting as we are joining up with the USORL Cup Series League as these guys are getting ready to just barely finish up qualifying here. About another 30 seconds as we watch them scroll across the top of your screen. Luke Smith, last couple weeks' winners, we were off last week, takes the pole here tonight with a 39 in the 39 Chevrolet out there with a 20.23 time. Not bad, as it looks like Austin Hakes and his Toyota will be right behind him, only off by about 50 thousandths of a second. Not too shabby there, but we'll see how well they can do. I would say, looking at this just over half-mile track, we may see a slew of cautions here. And joining alongside me, hopefully with the cure for yellow fever, is going to be Douglas Ross, man. Definitely talk to me about Martinsville. I'm sure you put a couple laps in here. Asphalt down the straightaways, little concrete in the corners. Talk to me about it.
I can tell you what, Patrick, they don't call it the paperclip for nothing, because this track is as tight as it can get. Side-by-side action racing, and people are going to be trying to get to that inside groove as possible, because the inside groove is where you're going to want to be tonight. So it's going to be really, really curious to see how these drivers are going to handle this track tonight.
All right, well, as you say, we do have a certain tight situation out there. You would think the concrete would almost give these guys a little bit better traction, but we've seen even during practice that a lot of these guys are almost locking the brakes up. We see a lot of tire smoke out there on the track, and guys are sliding in. You know, what does that mean for tire wear, and how does that set guys up for the corners?
Really, tire wear is going to be a big, humongous factor if you are not careful, because a lot of people are going out on the first lap trying to boogie it towards the front to get to the fastest lap possible, and they're getting as loose as possible, especially in that turns 1 and 2 where the grip is absolutely terrible. So they're going to have to at least wait for a couple of laps for the tires to break in, because the grips in turns 1 and 2, it's not there whatsoever.
No, not at all. And you do have to wait for the tires to heat up, but you don't want to melt them so fast that you lose all traction out there. As you can see, the fans are piling into the stands, getting ready here as they go through about a 10-minute warm-up here to get the last of the kinks out of the vehicles, since they just finished qualifying, making sure all the panels are straight. I believe there was a driver out there that kind of folded it up a little bit. Number 9 to Daryl Harris during his qualifying. Looks like they're going to go ahead and pull that bumper out and let it go here. And we've got a couple different things going on, and we'll see how that's going to pan out here. And a couple of different options that these guys have is taking a high line or the low line. Douglas, you're saying low line would probably be the best. I've seen probably the low line is, but it's the too early of an entry problem. And you see guys actually skip off that little curb you see right down there on the bottom of the corner. As we take a look at the number 42 Ford here of William Page. William Page is already trying to knock down a couple laps here, and it looks like he's pretty solid right there. You'll see guys nudge it and end up spinning out. So, also another thing to consider is pit road. Now, pit road is going to be a little bit tricky out there, seeing that the entry is very short, and they've got to really take a long time to get down pit road to get to the pit box. Now, these guys are shuffling in. You'll see most of them pitting, I believe, it's 1 and 2 that we'll see them really smushed in there, and then they'll be exiting out right before 3. So, Douglas, I'm nervous for some of these race teams out there and their body men trying to keep a lot of these panels on the car. How we're not going to end up in any sort of trouble is beyond me.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's typical Martinsville. We're definitely going to get away with a couple of cautions and all that. But I think as long as these drivers walk away with minimal damage, and I think they'll be perfectly fine. But even the smallest damage, like if you get that front end caved in, it can really affect your car. So even the contact and everything, keeping distance for a little bit, it's going to play a factor in this.
Yep. As we see Daryl Harris go ahead and re-greet the wall there, and the number 9 Chevrolet. But we'll take a little look here at this short track. 123 degrees on the track. We'll start there, Douglas. That is hot, hot, hot.
That is definitely really hot for track temperature, so that's definitely going to play a factor in this.
Won't have to wait for the tires to heat up very soon, between the brakes getting glowing red on the inside of the wheels and the track being insanely insanely hot. We'll see how that holds out. 77-degree air temperature would be pretty nice, though. Not too much wind, only about 6 miles an hour, but we are set up here for 200 laps at Martinsville. You might think that's a whole bunch. If we can stay under green flag for a decent amount of time, we are looking at just about 20 to 21 second laps, so these guys will really be cooking around here after a while. 4 sets of tires down in the pit are looking to be roasted off here tonight with a 77% fuel capacity. And big circle around that no faster pairs. Right now, we've seen the number 9 kiss that wall a couple of times here tonight. Hopefully, he doesn't knock himself out because he will not have the opportunity to return back to the track without a massive amount of repair, damage, or time that he's going to be required to sit down in the pit box. Fixed setups here, of course. Me, of course, your lead producer and commentator. Beside me is Douglas Ross. Appreciate you joining us here for the Track and Turf 200, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe out there. Definitely, when you do that, you can chat over there in the corner. As you can tell, Jay is already out there, and I believe that is also Mr. Hazard out there is also hanging out with us, and we are getting ready to go. Halfway through warm-ups here, and we're already saying Garrett Sidnor, Cal Lovell, and John Peterson, who didn't have that good of a qualifying time, but they are out there rolling on it here. And Douglas, you know, oof, a little kiss off the that curb I was talking about there by Kerry Rogers. But we talk a little bit here about drivers having any sort of success here at a race like this. A driver that really comes to mind who is extremely successful is Jeff Gordon. Now, he came out here and he even won a race after a piece of the track came up and took out the left front of his bumper and the left front fender, and he still was able to get out there and win that race. As it looks like, whoa, the number 9's getting loose again, and we'll see how that holds out. But man, how can a guy like that, you know, what was the key to Jeff Gordon's success? I would probably say it was starting time, and his qualifying position is what got him up to the front, and just being able to floss all over this track, put that car where he wanted it, and come away with a boatload of wins during his career.
Well, and that is also the case, but you also have to put in the experience factor. Like, when I say experience, how many times has a driver started on this track? Because this track is definitely not like Michigan or Daytona or Talladega, not a typical super speedway track. It's a short track. So experience can definitely play a factor when it comes to short tracks.
And it's very, I keep wanting to think of the word double entendre, but I think that's in the wrong context here. That you want to be patient, but you can't be so patient that the race ends. You do want, you want to pick and choose your moves, take your spots, as we're taking a look right now at Kerry Rogers, who's really starting to practice, seeing if he can work his way through the field here. A little bit of slipping and sliding already, as he's out there running any of you guys who've joined Andrew St. Coeur numbers. But right now, it's you kind of seeing how these guys are playing up, working around each other right now. And to me, this is the best practice they can get, is trying to figure out how not to fold each other up here in the first 15 to 20 some odd laps. As I would say, this is going to be really the make or break when it starts the season. I mean, we're only second race, fourth race in here, and now we're looking at, Martinsville may just be a stepping stone, but this could be the prequel to the beginning of the playoffs.
Yes, most definitely. And in Martinsville, I can tell you this: this is a track that can either make you or break you during the playoffs, or the regular season, I should say. Excuse me. Or for any of the drivers. Now, like I would say, an in particular driver like Luke Smith, who we ended up seeing win 2 weeks ago, and he's currently sitting at the top of the charts. He may end up pulling this off again tonight. But like I said, I don't know how much experience all of these drivers had. I'm still freshly new to it. It may be Luke Smith, it may be not. So we just have to see how it goes.
Yeah. Right now, I'll probably put our money out there on Luke Smith. Right now, during warm-up, not taking any chances out there to fold up that race car. So we'll see if he's got anything else for us out there. Hen Bordeaux, we're taking a look at the number 26 Ford. Looks like we're back in the Baskin-Robbins machine. Can't miss that paint job. I know everybody out there in the chat normally likes digging into that paint. Looking pretty slick out there. Hopefully Hen Bordeaux is able to come out with a great opportunity here tonight, as we'll be in the team room out there with Zach Webster, who's currently third here during the warm-up. And only about a minute left, and we'll be gridding up here. Be pretty excited as these guys go ahead and put 4 new Goodyears, a full tank of Sunoco fuel, and these guys will be back out on the track and ready to go, saying that the last of the kinks will be fixed here. We've got an interesting set of drivers out here. And John Peterson, the number 5 man, is definitely one of them. I'm waiting to see how his Ford definitely fares here tonight. And I'm hoping to see John Peterson have a fantastic finish out there in the number 43 Ford. Currently, he's hanging out there in the pits. Looks like he's having a chat with his crew chief at the moment. And he'll be looking to fight his way up through the field here tonight. And he'll be definitely making something happen. Cal Lovell out there for, getting ready for the Track and Turf 200 here. Simtrax Broadcasting coming to you live as our warm-up is finishing here. And this should be just about ready to go. Some guys are gambling at the amount of cautions we have out there. I would say, you know, it's going to be... Normally, the paperclip does have a little bit of a messy race. I would say no one gets out of here unscathed. It's a short track. But Douglas, we've seen a slew of cautions no matter what league we're in, trying to figure, you know, with guys just trying to hold on to this race by every little bit. Somebody sends it into the turn. Somebody dive bombs a little bit. Sending it a little too low, rides back up the track, and there's just no room for error with such little room on the outside wall.
Yeah, definitely a little room for error when it comes to the outside wall. And I can typically say at the end of the race, we don't want to see anybody pull a Ross Chastain move and ride that wall.
I can't tell you how many leagues I've broadcasted for that. No, after that race had taken place, that was an immediate rule change, is there is no Hail Melon move. You cannot ride the wall around on the final lap. Some guys have actually been practicing to see if they can do it. Some have been successful, but it does increase your chances of not getting it at all. Guys have hit too early in the wall, too late in the wall, too fast, and that just doesn't work out. So we're going to see how that works out here in the front. But let's go ahead and get to our starting grid here for tonight. Starting off first will be Luke Smith next to Austin Hakes. No surprise there. Luke Smith Chevrolet, the only one who will be starting in the top 10 as Zachary Webster sits third, Davey Hazard fourth. William Page will be starting row number 3 on the inside next to Cal Lovell. Right now, he is going to be hanging out in the number 5 machine, and he's going to be having a lot of work to do. Already starting outside the top 5, I say this is the danger zone. Noah Joyce sits 7th next to Garrett Sidnor. Joseph Weaver and Darren Ingram round out our top 10. Moving back to Kerry Rogers, doing a great job there during the warm-up, looking to shoot up to the front, as well as John Peterson in the 43. He needs a solid finish tonight. He's not been doing too hot. Ken Bordeaux sits 13th next to Zach Krastowski and Daryl Harris 15th. And the last driver is Adam Hoagland out there, and he's going to be having a hard time sitting in dead last here. I've recommended that if anybody comes out here and races and you start from the back, just let the race unfold. Let it come to you. There's no sense in trying to shoot up the track and make something of it here tonight. We're definitely hoping for a lot of great racing here. Right now, this race is taking part here at noon right now. So we should be just barely at dusk if this thing finishes on time. Barney in the booth, getting ready, and Luke Smith, Austin Hakes are going to take us to our first green flag. Let's see how many guys here can mush each other up. Ooh, the number 31 of Noah Joyce already starting to send it in.
Going down into turn 3, it looks like we have Davey Hazard trying to make a move on the outside. We're going to have to keep an eye on that, and it looks like they will settle in straight for all the way to the top 5. It looks like they're going to settle in the places and where they were.
Yeah. Looks like everybody does settle in the top 5. Biggest mover back right now is Cal Lovell. He's trying to fight his way back up at least one position, as it looks like the number 60's locking him up, though. Mellow Yellow Machine up into the wall. The 42 of William Page trying the Hail Melon too soon. Oh, and the 21 ricochets off the wall. Darren Ingram loses the rear end, and now we got guys. There's our first caution. Oh, for God's sakes, throw it out.
We had a spinner in the back of turn 2. It looks like Kerry Rogers ended up losing it in the back. He's got some right rear damage there, so tough break for Kerry Rogers.
Man, just what a run! What the heck happened? I mean, there was a lot of things happening here. A lot. We had trouble already up front. Notice how we're getting loose up there with Darren Ingram. He ricochets off the wall and comes up and makes contact with the 12. Kerry Rogers had nowhere to go. 84 locks him up and spins out here. You get back to the 21 and you see the 12 tries to get going again. And Kerry Rogers, and that just doesn't work out. I think only the caution through after this, right? And there's no caution until right here where he loops it around, which is a real shame. But
looking at the replay, it looks like, I don't know what happened to Ingram, if he got loose or something there on the front stretch, but he just completely lost it going into turn 1.
Yeah, and he was nowhere to even slow down there. We'll take another look at Ingram here. Clink. Yeah,
unfortunately,
kind of swinging out.
Unfortunately, it looks like Kerry Rogers just had nowhere to go. He was just a victim of circumstance.
Yeah, looked like a 5. They may have gotten a little too much arrow off the side of the car there, and that just loosened them up. But as hot as this track is, these things are going to start melting really quick and not being able to make contact with the track the way they need to be. Top 5 here, pretty happy with their position. Garrett Sidnor moves up 3 to sit in that 5th spot. Noah Joyce does move up 1. Joseph Weaver moves up 2 to sit 7th. Right now, guys who have shuffled back at least 5 positions each is Darren Ingram. Ingram working his way back down pit road as it looks like they took the nose off that car. And he's the one who had the missing rear bumper, so both front and rear are missing on Darren Ingram, and I believe Kerry Rogers back out there, right rear damage. We're just going to go ahead and let it eat. I don't blame him. Get back out there and try to put some laps down. Pace car lights are out. Darren Ingram is back down. I think he's going to end up going a boatload of laps down here. So somebody I expect to see on the move is going to be Kerry Rogers, but he's got to be careful with that damage that's on the right rear. All right, let's get ready to get this one going again. We'll kind of rally cap for our guys to get underneath a good start. And now I said it. 95 Zachary Webster. Lock him up, guys. Well, heat cycled tires. There it is. And if the 43's got a blown engine, that is going to be absolutely terrible for Mr. Peterson here. And that's what it looks like. Yuck. What? Yep, he's puffing. That's not good. How in the world did that happen immediately? It didn't look like we were up to speed enough to make any sort of damage. The Sunny D machine gets right in the back of the 42. 42 had slowed down. William Page. And then the 43 tried to connect the numbers. It was just a set of heat cycle tires there. Right now, that does leave our driver, Zachary Webster, in the hot seat here, and everybody's going to be really having their eyes on them. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. All right, let's check out there in the chat. Looks like Davey Hazard says he's loving that short track racing. Jay's out there getting excited about the race. Mint Age, appreciate you joining back out there. Benjamin Snyder, Gary Fishmas to the 50 team. All right, that's Gary Sidmore, who's right now currently sitting 5th. And right now we'll see how this goes. Yeah, some of the original car fonts are pretty nice. I do like that. Looks like we got the smoking car there. 43 heading on in of John Peterson. We'll see how it goes. Jay's out there saying not the carnage. Yeah, with as few drivers as we have out here, I think this bleeding will stop sooner than later. Some drivers are coming in. Only ones who have yet to pit are 7th on up. Putting Hen Bordeaux sitting 7th on the lead lap. Darrell Harris starts behind. Last pitting on lap 4. Everybody else back on lap 10 getting some of that damage fixed. I would probably say, what gear? When you take a look at it here, with the pace car lights are still on, I do want to know what gear it may have been that Zachary Webster was in when we took off.
I think because I was watching his cockpit view, it looked like he started in first gear, because immediately as soon as he stepped on the gas, the rev limiter was going crazy, so I have a feeling it was first gear.
Yeah, which is not exactly what you want there. And that's what we're taking a look at as we sit in the cockpit now. As we watch how he gets going, watch how that tack hits 9 right there. That's the wheel spin. That's it. All right, we're getting ready to get going again. Let's try this again. Luke Smith, Austin Hakes, front row. Hakes. Bad start there. 31 gets into the back of him of Noah Joyce. Sidesteps it there, and it looks like everybody kind of smooths it out. Now we're trying to fly through here. Guys just heat cycling these tires up a little bit. 28, Austin Hakes has to slide into 3rd as Davey Hazard works his way up to the front. Starting in 4th originally, he's up front. I think Henrietta, ooh. Looks like Hen Bordeaux is having a little blinking problem out there. Has no idea where the Baskin-Robbins machine is.
And passing her is Darrell Harris, and it looks like Hen Bordeaux will settle back into spot number 8 for right now. But here she comes back to the inside of Darrell Harris, trying to get that spot back.
Backs that turn up just in time to slice back down to the bottom. Does look like Darrell Harris is electing to stay high here, as Hen Bordeaux is definitely staying low line, trying to see if she can hook it on around. Not working, no. As the 9 is locking it into the turns. Right now, there's the number 9 there of Darrell Harris. Luke Smith still leading this race, only off by about half a second is Davey Hazard. Darrell Harris able to calm it down a little bit, now electing to stay on the bottom. And I notice the number 5 of Cal Laval. Still missing that nose. Still out there racing. Just go ahead and let it eat. Coming up on lap number 20 this time around. That's going to hold us for Luke Smith and Davey Hazard into the front. Right now, Davey Hazard is losing some ground, about 1.5 seconds. Austin Hakes sits 3rd. Sidnor up to 4th. Joyce still sitting 5th. Looks like 42 of William Page is looking to take a peek.
William Page definitely trying to take a peek to the inside, but can't manage to get it done. Looks like he'll settle into spot number 6.
Yeah, still trying to slice around here. William Page taking another look. Right now, we're taking a look on the inside to see if we can sit shotgun out there with William Page. Decides to take it more of a high side. I like that thought. So when he starts running a little too hot, it's take higher end of the turn to not risk the brake fade. Finally getting some green laps under our belt here. Luke Smith in the lead. Davey Hazard, Austin Hakes 1, 2, 3. As we sit along with William Page as he puts the pressure here on Noah Joyce. Now, Noah Joyce's Toyota still fighting here. Out there in the Sunoco machine, having a little bit of wiggling trouble here. And I think this is where William Page is getting ready to attack. He just doesn't want to hook the edge of that curb. He does nudge it a little bit, though.
William Page is definitely putting the heat on that 31. He wants that position.
Yeah, trying to take another look. William Page is being patient, though. Boy, just kind of waiting it out. Now, wondering if Page is thinking about backing up some of these turns to see if he can get a hold of this run. Right now, not bad by Luke Smith, getting out there by 3 seconds. We'll soon catch the field. I believe we've got a bunch of drivers who have taken it back to the garage. Zachary Webster in the 95, Joseph Weaver in the 60 is taking it back to the garage, and Kerry Rogers. All Fords have taken it back to the garage there, and those 3 are done for the night. Leaving us with still about 13 drivers, one still getting repairs done. Over 5.5 minutes there for John Peterson. Back side of Noah Joyce's machine. And that mellow yellow getting real big there in the rearview mirror.
Definitely putting the heat on, I can tell you that.
Well, that's exactly what you want to see. William Page doing a great job not giving him a nudge. You'd almost think that he's in danger of that happening. Let's check back on Cal. I think the number 5 has a little extra clearance there, as it's not going to be bumping the backside there of Darrell Harris. This might be that turn. Notice how he backs up that turn a lot farther. 5 able to dive in and accelerate much sooner.
Darrell Harris is definitely fighting. You can see the brakes lock up on his car a little bit because you see a little smoke coming into the corners. He's really locking up those brakes.
Well, he's definitely getting nervous with that 5 getting all over his rear bumper here. 9 having a little bit of trouble. Can't tell currently from our angle which brake is locking up on him, though. I can't tell if we got a front or a rear brake. They keep sticking on it. Guarantee he's not going to want a front brake locking up on him there. See if I can get some drone footage out there and see what's going on. Not seeing anything going on there. Maybe Darrell Harris is slowing it up just a little bit to keep him held off. I believe we've got somebody back there losing a little bit of ground there. Darren Ingram having that same wiggle. Missing both the front and the rear. Zach Kostowski now behind him. In the number 4 Chevrolet. He is missing the rear end of his car. Not for lack of trying here. So we have been watching the battle for 7th as Darrell Harris still holds on to it. It looks like William Page was able to overcome Noah Joyce out there. We can go back and see if we can find and take a look at that pass. Yeah, just got a good turn exit. Set him up and goes in and works on around him. Excellent job. Already saying we're having a little bit of trouble back here on lap 28. Says Adam Hoagland had some problems. I'm wondering this is not worthy of a caution. There he goes on around. Clink. Nice little damage repair. And John Peterson is returning. After over 8 minutes in the box, up almost 9. Peterson's going to be about 24 laps down here in this one as he resumes back in the Sunny D machine.
Definitely got to give the guy credit, though.
Yep. Definitely want to go back out there and start knocking some laps down. Right now, he did pass Zachary Webster. That does get him out of dead last up to 15th. I think if he can make it another 10 more laps, he'll secure at least up to 13th, and that'll help him here in the points. As we see a pass there by Cal Lovell. Quick pass there on Darrell Harris. Finally got it. And right now, Jay's even saying he restarts out there in second. figured out that I didn't get the grid music turned off there, as I believe Darren Ingram may be around.
Aaron Ingram looks like he lost it there on the front stretch. Just got loose.
All right, that'll bring out our third caution here of the night. Take a look and see what happens to the 21 here. Whoop. Well, good news is I believe Adam Hoagland will be able to get one of his laps back. So pace car lights are on. Damaged machine still out on out there on the track. As everybody else is coming in, looks like for tires and fuel. They'll be shooting their way back out there. Luke Smith has an excellent exit here. Won't take much. Now we just about line up. Everybody choosing to take 4 tires and fuel. No one short pitting at all here. Couple extra drivers taking some extra time down in there. Noah Joyce spending 25 seconds. Fix up a little bit of that race car. See how Cal does. Cal spends 31 seconds. Does not want to go a lap down here. Oh, he's going to kind of tear around the track and I'm sure head right back down into pit road. Let's see if we can fix some more of that damage. Yep, here it goes. Blame him if they're able to at least get the bumper reattached. I think it would help his night here tonight. Almost reaching
Patrick,
the 1/4 part here. Douglas, talk to me here, man. What's your take on this?
I'm really sorry to interrupt, but actually while we were talking about that, it looks like Davey Hazard maybe had a problem off of pit road, as it looks like he has gone to the rear of the field.
Really? He ended up with a black flag?
That's a good question, but I was keeping an eye on him coming off of pit road, and it looked like he may have hit the cone. That's like right on the edge of the line of pit road. I think he may have hit that and may have gotten a penalty.
Oh. Let's take a look at Davey Hazard on his exit here. Right there. Yep, technically exiting pit too early. You have to stay on the inside of that cone. Good spot there, Douglas. Not bad. All right, green flag is out. Luke Smith, Austin Hakes, Garrett Sidnor, William Page. Here we go, turn number 1. Luke Smith enjoying those fresh tires. Around he goes. Austin Hakes close. Trying to hold on to him there, side by side back there for William Page there on the outside. Seeing if he can stay around Darrell Harris this time so he doesn't have to fight him for 20 laps. Hen Bordeaux up close to the wall. Damaged cars in the back. Reevaluating the wall clearance. Figure out how this goes. As William Page finally settles in, we are still single file. And this has got to be when Austin Hakes attacks. He can't let Luke Smith get away from him this time.
Austin Hakes is definitely going to have to try and make something happen, because Luke Smith on that last run, he ended up gaining almost about a 3 to 4 second lead ahead of the second place car. So he's got to try and do something. But it looks like Luke Smith, he found his line and he's on cruise control.
Yep. You know, it seems to be nice and easy when you're out front in that fresh air. And now we're noticing Garrett Sidnor just sitting third. Might be chasing on behind, but go ahead and talk to me. It looks like we're back under caution.
Caution flag is back out. Bear with me. I'm trying to figure out who it was. And it looks like it's back here going into turn 3. It looks like it may have been Adam Hoagland in the 84.
All right, we'll take a look and see what breaks him loose. Boy, it's drifting again. That's the exact same thing we saw happen the last time, except that's worse. Well, I think that's exactly what got him on lap 28. Here's 28. Almost seems the same turn. Loops it right there. And was able to nudge the back end. Yeah, this time he heads in and it snaps back. He's unable to grind the right rear along the wall. Same turn. And Tokyo Drift does not work out and bang, into the wall. Ouch. Lovell working back down into pit road. We do reach the 1 quarter mark. This time around, pace car lights are obviously on. They'll be on for a little while now, probably at least 3 more laps. This will give the guys in the back some chances to fix some of that damage out there. Now with us having 4 tires down in the pits, drivers did come down on lap 39 to throw a set on. Do you think it's too early to take a set of tires there, Douglas?
It really all depends if people were trying to play strategy, but I don't know what the strategy call would be because I think pretty much everybody pit under that caution. So it's really, really hard to tell. But they're given 4 sets of tires. They're probably banking on maybe lap 40 to lap 50 per tire. So it really all depends. So maybe a little early, maybe it might not be.
Huh. Well, it might be able to separate a little bit. I would just be concerned that if we do it by 40s, that's going to drop us short. At lap 160, and then they're just trying to squeak it out at the end. I expect to see green-white checkers at the end, and I wouldn't want to be the guy caught out there on an old set of tires. So, we'll see if that holds out. I probably would expect to see somebody try to see if they can push this one out to almost lap 90 or lap 100. Try to put 60 laps on these tires. And then go out there and be able to get them much closer in case we end up with a late caution, let's say lap 185 or so. End up with a fresh set of tires, and then you can laugh your way to the front. I believe
Maybe that's also another.
our pace car lights should be turning out. Yes, they are. So, Douglas, go ahead and talk to me here, man. This is drivers lining up, getting ready to go. What can Austin Hakes and Garrett Sidnor do to get in front of Luke Smith?
I think really the only thing that Austin Hakes can bank on is if Luke Smith has a bad start, but we've already seen that hasn't happened so far, so I think that's the only way that I think Austin Hakes can end up pulling this off is if Luke Smith spins the tires or just gets sleeping on the start.
Well, it's kind of easy for the guy in the front to start. He's able to take off when he wants to during the restart zone, and they can't pass him before the line, so it's almost he could really ease off in second, or he doesn't have to try to pull off in first to get around. But through turn number 1, it looks like he is under fire by Austin Hakes. Hakes had a good shot at him, but does not end up completing the pass. Tries to slide back underneath. William Page caught on the outside again here. That's the battle once again for that 4th spot as Harris is taking another look at it. And now William Page might have to slide to the bottom here before Garrett Sidnor cuts him off. And Douglas, take it away, man. Right now it looks like everybody single files out here.
I can tell you right now, Patrick, another person that is a man on a mission right now is Davey Hazard, as he is right now past Darrell Smith for that number 5 spot.
Well, with that EOL from exiting pit road too early, he knows he doesn't belong back there, and I believe Hen Bordeaux is our next driver around, 5th caution. All right, well, at least I see a little bit of flame coming out of the exhaust there, so we know we had to refire it up. And Bordeaux bringing out the 5th caution on lap 55. And we were assisted. Darren Ingram gets into the back. All right. Douglas, what do you say we get a shout out from our sponsors?
Do that.
Ah, that's your joke, my man. Guys, if you were looking to sponsor this league, obviously there are openings. Definitely go ahead and chip in a little bit. You want to get your name on a car, on a track, or on the league. Definitely make sure you get a hold of Davey Hazard out there. He is definitely looking for some sponsorships out there for this league. These guys have a great time racing out here, and they race very well. But remember, we are at Martinsville, so this is going to be an ugly race. So right now we are halfway to my wife calling for 10 cautions tonight. And we'll see. We'll see. Right now she's got her fingers crossed so we can get about 100 laps under green. And I think, you know what I have never seen here, Douglas? Green flag pit stops.
Really, you don't say.
Absolutely not. I mean, how many laps would you go down? I mean, I'm looking at pit lane times about 51 to 59 seconds. So you could actually be 2 to 3 laps down returning back to the track. Yeah, work that
Very
way,
interesting.
Work it. All right, so if you had your choice here, Douglas, short track or super speedway, what do you choose?
Well, that's definitely a no-brainer. I would choose probably super speedways. I'm not good at short tracks whatsoever.
Oh. Well, the lack of banking here at Martinsville does make it kind of hard. Richmond's almost the same. But you get a bowl track, more like Bristol, where the turn almost turns you. Man, that's what I'm talking about. I love racing little bowl tracks, and just where the track almost hooks you in. California, Michigan, out there with the Auto Club, and I like big wide tracks, nice banking, and do working it like that. When you get to a flat track, man, it just makes it so much more difficult out there to try to get around this track and make up some solid times out there. But right now, 1, 2, 3, Chevy, Toyota, and a Ford. Right now, we were short on Chevys, but we are not now. 3 of them sitting in the top 10. This is a little bit of a messy race here.
I don't think it's too bad. I mean, I've seen worse.
Jay's out there saying, why not a road course?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Looks like we might have a fan out there of Davey Hazard out there in the number 75 machine. My favorite. And we are back under green. See how the Haviland car does out there. Sitting in a 75 and a Toyota. Good car choice, good number choice, love it. Let's see how he does. Boy, hard into the brakes. And right now, for the first time, Austin Hakes had the lead there for about a blink of an eye. Excellent job here. Hakes has it at the line, and right now, make the call here, Doug.
I can tell you what, Austin Hakes, he is not making it easy. He's like, you know what, Luke Smith, I think it's time for somebody else to have the lead, so right now I'm going to give you a fight there, bud.
All right, as we get left front here, you look how close these two are getting. Austin Hakes does not want to let him get away, try to squeeze him down to the bottom of the track there. And this is excellent. Side by side here for the lead. Hakes Gadsden by half a car. And still trying to hold on to it. Right now, Luke Smith may have been a little sleepy on that start. And this is exactly what you called, Douglas, is exactly this. Is right now, Luke Smith needed to have a terrible restart, and that's what may have happened here. This is giving Hakes that opportunity to make this pass. But he is yet to complete. He's still trying to hold on. Right now, we're finally getting to the right rear quarter panels where we find Luke Smith. Oh! Shot to the wall there by Hakes, and he loses it.
That's going to open up the door for Garrett Sidnor to take over that number 2 spot. And Davey Hazard, who is still a man on a mission.
There you go, the man on a mission. He's moving his way up to the front. Toyota in the front, Toyota in the back, and Hazard looking to put his a little farther forward as he puts Hakes into the side view. So only a spotter can see. Looks like Hazard's going to be able to make a solid clear here. And not bad. Davey Hazard fighting all the way back up, 3rd spot. I would say if Davey Hazard could get a solid start and a runaway here, he might be our guy to lead the race.
Looks like after all that trouble, Austin Hakes, it looks like he is gonna settle back into spot number 4, and right behind him is Noah Joyce in spot number 5.
Yep. That's still rolling on through here, trying to see if they can hang on to the lead for Luke Smith, and he does. I guarantee you Austin Hakes is kind of pounding his head off the dash now after that nudge to the wall. Gave it everything he had to see if he can hold on to Luke Smith, but now Luke Smith not giving up on that inside line, and he was able to take off and take away. So far, so good here as we rotate back. Let's sit with Davey Hazard now as we sit shotgun inside of his car. Seems to be working out pretty well. And they're still seeing if they can fight around out there. Hazard still hanging in third spot. Hakes is 4th. And John Peterson looks like he's working his way back down pit road. I don't know if we got a problem or if Peterson is taking it back to the garage here. Keep you guys updated. Right now he's currently sitting 12th. About 24 laps off the lead. So that is going to be hurtful for him. See if he can fight back and come up with something there. We are seeing right now Noah Joyce, who sits 6th. Biggest mover of the race is Daryl Harris. He's up 8 in the number 9 Chevrolet out there. He's sitting currently 7th. Looking to see if he can shoot his way up to the front. I am not seeing where he's going to be able to get any extra out of that number 9 machine. Now, Ingram has been in a little bit of trouble tonight. Had trouble back there on lap 8. I think that was a problem where he got going there. Zachary Webster got turned around and caught up the rest of the field. I believe currently Zachary Webster has taken it back to the garage in the number 95 machine. Sidestepped it there, started 3rd, and ended up having to march backwards, unfortunately. Alrighty, lap 76 underway here at the Track and Turf 200. And right now out there, Gambit is saying the motor's blown. Ouch. Peterson down and out here, saying the motor's blown. We saw it smoking earlier in the run. Out there for Peterson, who had trouble back on lap number 8. Like we were about to get it. Almost 30 more laps on that motor before it let go. That's a bummer. And I'm hoping, let me know out there, John, if that motor let go out there, if it was an overheat issue and we knew we had a bunch of damage to the nose of that car. See how it goes. Sidnor off by almost a second now. Chasing down Luke Smith, who's still leading this race. Only problem Luke Smith has had all race here was on this last restart, as Austin Hakes was almost getting a piece of him. Douglas, you seeing anything happening out there where guys are starting to get a little testy out there? Maybe a little Hen Bordeaux back here. Trying it out on a driver in front of the number 21 of Darren Ingram.
There's definitely a good battle going on for the number 4 spot as Austin Hakes right now is trying to hold off William Page.
Whoa, lock up tires there by the number 21. Remember, these two actually got in the lap caution number 5 issue. As we roll up on William Page, who's in there sitting 5th. Hakes might be in some trouble here. All right, now as you see him driving through the tire smoke that was left. We're not in danger of going a lap down yet. Krastowski may be our first guy who's on the lead lap who might be in some trouble.
It looks like lap traffic is going to start playing a factor now in this race as Luke Smith is starting to gain towards the back of the field.
Yeah, Luke Smith getting pretty close out there. Doesn't seem to be any worse for the wear out there by Luke Smith. Already getting one win we saw earlier. He's getting it now. Away he goes. Luke Smith, number 1. Sidnor sitting 2nd. Now starting to actually reel him in. Not letting him slip away. Got him to under a 2nd. Davey Hazard, man, he's going to need a restart here. As he sets off by about, I believe, about 2.5 seconds off.
Right now I am looking at the time status. Garrett Sidnor is definitely the fastest car on the track right now. He's faster than Luke Smith, not by much. Let's try to see if the next lap tries to tick off. And
Still faster.
yes, Luke Smith is running at 21:27. Garrett Sidnor is running at 21:14.
Yeah, not bad. So Luke Smith is either tire saving here, or Sidnor is really starting to pick up the pace. If we want to start reeling in, though, might be able to use some of this lap traffic to the advantage for Garrett Sidnor. Sidnor's chance is coming very quickly, though. It's a possible pass for the lead. May be underway here as we get ready to crack into lap number 90. Not quite getting him yet. Under half a second for Sidnor to Luke Smith. I think Hen Bordeaux was starting to reel in Ingram back here. Whoop, little slide there by the number 21. Ingram having a heck of a time here tonight. Bunch of pieces missing off that machine. So Monster Energy is in a lot of trouble here. Hen Bordeaux looking to move up into 7th in the Baskin-Robbins machine. Double check back up on Sidnor. Sidnor still sitting about half a second off. Now it's time to start using some of this lap traffic to the advantage. Zach Krastowski. And Zach's going to rotate up. Ooh. Off the wall there a little bit. Sidnor only gets a little more. Now, I would say, Douglas, taking a look at how Sidnor is getting closer and closer and then kind of stalls out about this half second, chances of some dirty air issues here.
I think that is the case. As soon as Luke Smith is getting up on lap traffic, that dirty air can definitely play in the factor when it comes to like speed or even the handling of your car. So that's why when you see Sidnor approaching, it's because probably Luke Smith is getting into some dirty air from that lap traffic.
Yeah, it's starting to be some trouble. I'm wondering if Sidnor is already having some trouble not being able to pass. I don't know if this is a scheduled pit stop here for Davey Hazard, but down pit road he goes. At 95 decides to bring it in. That's going to put him a lap down already before he can even get into the box. So hopefully we'll see Davey Hazard might short pit it here, and he does not. Davey Hazard working his way back out now. 4 tires and fuel ready to race some more of this race out. Now remember what I was recommending, trying to take about 60 laps on these tires. And when they came in, lap 39 is the last time we saw him come in. He gets an EOL.
Oh, and that is a bummer. I just saw AV Hazard got a black flag coming off of pit road. He is now returning back to pit road.
What in the world for? We got drivers sliding all over the track out here, getting sideways. I believe that was Austin Hakes who ended up getting sideways, dropping down to 7th. As we do not get a caution for it, though. Now Davey Hazard is sitting in the box over 45 seconds. Holy cow, what in the world could have been? I'm just wondering if he's just hanging out there in the box now. I mean, he's there for over a minute. I don't think there's any penalty that would hold him there that long. So let's talk about the 6 drivers that are on the lead lap. Luke Smith, Garrett Sidnor, William Page, Darrell Harris is still on the lead lap. I believe Darren Ingram still on the lead lap as well. Hen Bordeaux as the last one on the lead lap. Number 4 machine, Zach Krastowski, starting to work around. Krastowski came in on lap 95, 4 tires and fuel. We still have our top 4 drivers. Hen Bordeaux, who's sitting 6th, came in on lap 39. So they have been out there for an extended amount of time. And that may
I can tell you what.
Yep, go ahead.
The battle for the number 1 spot really is heating up. Garrett Sidnor's there.
All right, Sidnor all over that back bumper here. Not bad. The number 54 is starting to kick in into high gear here. Trying to take another peek. Where can he find this soft spot? Gonna have to really work it here. Gotta say, give it to Garrett Sidnor. Reeling him in here and then just trying to pick and choose that spot where he may attack. So he's starting to write down in the notes that on the exit of 1 and 2, there's the problem, and the 39 makes contact with the wall on the exit.
That right there is the little mistake that Garrett Sidnor was looking for. As he is right now getting... Oh, he may have caught the wall again on the front stretch.
It looks like already a little trouble there by Garrett Sidnor. As you see, that hood is peeled up just a bit. Sidnor already dealing with a bunch of damage himself. Say as much as they're contacting the wall now, you start thinking, all right, well, I'm start thinking about pitting here. Ooh, looked like a little nudge there. Sidnor to the rear bumper there of Luke Smith. Excellent racing here so far by these two, and give it to Sidnor for making the catch up here.
Oh, wow. Luke Smith really got loose coming off of that corner. There he goes.
Yep, this may cost him. Luke Smith about to lose the lead here. Garrett Sidnor. Sidnor to the inside. And makes a full clear. Luke Smith will be the first time looking at the back of somebody's bumper here in this race. Now give it to Garrett Sidnor. Taking the lead, getting a lead lap here. Around he goes, and now it's his time to shine. As we reached past the second half of this race. Finally getting some green flag laps in. Last time we were under caution was back from lap 55. And we're finally really getting a roll on here.
I don't know what's going on. Something's really wrong with Luke Smith. He's getting really loose.
Yeah, he might be getting ready to draw the line here. First time he's really been in some solid, dirty air. And he may be coming down and getting ready to check off some tires here really quick. I would say, or I would expect Luke Smith to boomerang back and possibly regain the lead when he comes in for tires. He's lost a substantial amount of time out there. I believe he's lost almost 1.5 seconds off his normal time. Garrett Sidnor is actually getting better. His best time was 20.47. Last time of 21.46. Only a second lost, and Luke Smith actually losing a ton more, continuing to fall back. Sidnor looking for the number 21 of Darren Ingram, who sets fifth. Ingram pit back on lap 56. So there's a possibility if that Ingram stays out for a lot longer, he may have the lead as soon as these lap 39 drivers work their way in. Originally I said Hen Bordeaux was one of the ones who pit on 39, threw the towel in on 102. Came in and got tires and fuel. 15.5 minutes in the box for John Peterson. Noah Joyce in the 31 Toyota has taken it back to the garage, and Davey Hazard has been able to return. Right now, unfortunately, Hazard is down by 7 laps here. That may have done it for his race, though, which is really unfortunate. Check and see what any of these guys are thinking about when they are going to pit. Good idea to know how far that they can make it. Lap 40 is about the time they came in. If I'm not mistaken, last time that these guys pit, 39. We've had 2 yellow flags since that point in time. All right, Douglas. So we got the Track and Turf 200. And we're about to enter lap 119 here. You know, what's your takeaway from this race so far? We're a little messy at the beginning, and then we're straightening out, or what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely right. It was a little messy and a little shaky in the beginning of the race, but now we're going into lap 120, and I think the drivers pretty much found their groove on where they want to go and everywhere like that, and just and the track has actually raised in temperature ever since we started the race.
Raised in temperature. We were at 123.
We are now up to 125.
Holy cow. Well, that's that's something to say. So as we keep an eye on our leader out there. Some drivers are going to be looking to get back onto the lead lap. They are battling amongst themselves, though. And Bordeaux looking to get back up. Currently sitting 7th, looking to get around the 21 machine to Darren Ingram, who's sitting what appears to be behind. We're still working on it, though. And Bordeaux just waiting for everybody else to pit. I'm waiting to see if we can, how many laps we can go, and I'm wondering if that may be the telltale sign of what we may see here. Now, if Hen Bordeaux came in and they were able to take tires or take fuel on lap 39, and the guys who came in on 39 are still out there, right now Hen Bordeaux may be able to race this race to the end on the same tank of fuel, so that may be that might be an interesting strategy call here, and I kind of like what I'm seeing.
Even in Martinsville, the strategy call could come into play.
Right. Hen Bordeaux working around the track. This will give the opportunity to pass Darrell Harris, moving Hen Bordeaux into the 5th position. And that means everybody else in front still needs to pit. Except Austin Hakes, who came in on lap 91, but is already suffering some slowdown damage here. Right now, Hakes is sitting at about 21:21 is his current time. Got our eyeballs here. Sorry about that. We got our eyes here on Garrett Sidnor, as right now that is Davey Hazard getting one of his laps back the hard way.
Looks like Luke Smith is coming down pit road.
So we finally come down on lap 127 from lap 39. So we are able to go about 80 or 90 laps. Sidnor coming on down. And last driver, we're waiting to see if William Page is deciding to stay out. This will give William Page the lead. Now Page is out front in the mellow yellow machine. Right now Austin Hakes pitting on lap 91. If we are able to stretch this out, Hakes will be short. Probably sitting about that lap 180 to 185 for Austin Hakes. Rather unfortunate. I would wonder if Hakes would come down now, splash and go. And go back out there. But well, that's why we're up here in the booth and they're in the driver's seat. And get all the choices here. Page still holding on the lead though.
Ooh. William Page got a little loose coming off of turn 1.
Now he's going to be talking to his body guy about that right front fender there, seeing if the spotter can notice anything going on with it. Might be some substantial damage to the 42 here. William Page is still remaining out on the track, still refusing to pit. We're losing a boatload of time. Page heading down. That's going to put Hakes in the lead. Now Hakes is out front by about 14 and a half seconds over top of Garrett Sidnor. Like I said, right now, Hakes will most likely be short on fuel. And Garrett Sidnor will have enough to make it to the end. All right, now Sidnor's got to be pretty happy with a 2.3 second lead over Luke Smith. Luke Smith is going to be looking to play chase now and see if he can do just the same. I don't think Hakes really risk that much time out there. Really coming to the end of this race. Not going to be looking too good. He is the earliest driver to come down on lap 91. Peterson's still knocking down some laps out there, but he is sitting in pit for almost 23 minutes now. So John Peterson may be able to return to this race. Not quite sure yet. He would have to make up another 35 laps, I believe. to pick up one more position over Nova Joyce. Boy, I tell you what, I thought Davey Hazard was going to have a heck of a shot at this race, but just black flag after black flag after black flag here, and pit road being the main cause of it. This is definitely heartbreaking here for Davey Hazard out there in the number 75 Toyota. Right, Davey Hazard looks like he's going to go ahead and let Cal Lovell go around him. Cal Lovell not that many laps behind as Davey Hazard is. Those two close side by side. Right now Jay out there saying short track sweating. Now it's just making sure you hit your marks at the right time and getting back out there.
I can tell you what, Luke Smith is definitely closing the gap. He's coming.
Well, out by 14 seconds was Austin Hakes over top of Sidnor. Sidnor is only out front of Luke Smith by 1.3 seconds now. Right now, Sidnor is trying to use William Page to the advantage here. Try to stay out of the limelight. And Bordeaux is sitting fourth. I'll probably say there may be a solid top three opportunity here for Hen Bordeaux. I'll go ahead and mention that the only drivers on the lead lap are guys in the top four. I mean, two. William Page, one of the last drivers to come into pit road on lap 131. Not really capitalizing here, getting around Sidnor and starting to take off. And the fuel strategy could be extremely close here. Sidnor kind of just biding his time, working his way up to Hakes. Hakes is sitting at 7 seconds and still marching backwards. I believe we're sitting 0.6 of a second faster from Sidnor to Hakes each lap. Talk to me, Douglas. Tell me something about this track. What about Martinsville makes it different than everywhere else, man? Is it the seating? Is it just the shape of this track? Or is it just the tempers that bring between crew chiefs, drivers, and heck, even their own teammates?
I can tell you what, Martinsville is definitely, it can definitely be a go or broke kind of track. I mean, it's all depending on the driver that is driving the track. I mean, it really all depends.
All right, well, we're definitely going to hope and see what Sidnor can do. Right now, he's going to be under fire here very quickly. Can he get to Hakes first before Luke Smith catches him? It's not looking like it. Right now, Luke Smith is only off by about 3/4 of a second. Sidnor still has to make up just under 5 seconds to Austin Hakes. So Hakes Toyota holding on tight, though. Looking to see, I think that's Davey Hazard. Yes, it is. Davey Hazard right in the middle of it. And there's Sidnor. All right, now William Page being a great pick here for Luke Smith and Sidnor. Definitely tucking in there. Definitely wants to be the first one back onto the lead lap if there is a late race caution. About 52 laps left to go here in Martinsville for the Track and Turf 200. Time is starting to dwindle away. Drivers who came down a little bit too early. I was wondering about drivers like Davey Hazard came in on 94 if he'd have enough fuel to make it. He did sit for an extended amount of time down in pit road. Last time he visited over about 2 minutes and 15 seconds for Davey Hazard. See how the drivers go through the top 10. Austin Hakes in his 28 Toyota sits number 1. Up 6 positions tonight since Garrett Sidnor in second. Luke Smith is third. And it looks like Luke Smith does make the break. Gets around William Page, who's fourth. Hen Bordeaux fifth. Darrell Harris is sixth. Darren Ingram seventh. Zach Krastowski in the number 4 Chevrolet, sitting in 8th. Cal Lovell right now sitting 9th. Now he's off by about 3 laps, I think. Lovell down, no, 4. He's down 4, and Davey Hazard is down 4. That rounds out our top 10 as they work around Davey Hazard out there. These two, Luke Smith and Garrett Sidnor, are getting super close here. Austin Hakes only up by about 2.5 seconds. Hakes is going to be in some trouble here. Taking a look back, that is the 2 guys looking for him, Sidnor and Smith. He is, we'll see if one of them makes a poke out there. Makes a mistake.
Austin Hakes is definitely going to have to come back down pit road. I don't think there's any way he could stretch it on fuel.
No, even if he's clutching it, there's just not enough time. I definitely give it to Garrett Sidnor out there with his last pit stop. I mean, Ye came in on 127, Luke Smith on 126, but to come out of the pit box faster than Luke Smith was Sidnor, off by about 0.4 of a second faster. And their pit lane time just about matched. So they weren't able to get away from each other, but that begged to differ, seeing that Luke Smith was a lot farther off than Garrett Sidnor. Sidnor now starting to get loose coming out of the turns. Luke Smith's going to reel him in and might make him pay for that. We are coming up on the 1 second mark of Garrett Sidnor and Luke Smith meeting up with Austin Hakes. Say Austin Hakes is extremely good at doing exactly what he needs to do, exactly able to save tires. I don't know if he's going to be able to maintain.
He's definitely not going to be able to maintain. I can see him. He's definitely getting tight off of those corners, so he looks like Garrett Sidnor may have something for him maybe this turn.
All
It's
right.
coming up.
Finally, Hakes, Sidnor, Luke Smith, 1, 2, and 3 have met each other. Now the battles begins. Luke Smith already looking around Sidnor, seeing if he can get a 2 for 1. As they now have caught up to our leader, Sidnor. Getting very, very close here. As we sit on top of the number 54. Looks all but over for Austin Hakes here in the number 28 Toyota. Able to do some great blocking. And Sidnor to the inside. Sidnor will now have the lead back. And Sidnor pinch Luke Smith back there. Luke Smith trying to stick his nose in, gets only about a fender. Hakes is going to fend off Luke Smith here for the straightaway. But Smith
Well, we're
just
talking
too fast on the inside. Go ahead.
While we were talking about those guys, look who's sneaking up right behind Luke Smith. That is William Page in the 42.
Yeah, remember William Page does need to get at least 1 lap back to get back onto the lead lap. I'm sure that's going to happen. Right now is Mint Age out there saying Hen Bordeaux is having a solid run tonight. Right now currently sitting in the top 5 position. I don't know if Hen Bordeaux is going to be able to have, should have enough fuel compared to the rest. Definitely hard to say, though. Hen Bordeaux came down on lap 102. Must be been able to squeak out 98 laps out of a tank of fuel. Very, very difficult call here. And even for our guys who have just regained the lead, Garrett Sidnor, Luke Smith now sits second. Sidnor trying to get out of there as fast as he can. Sidnor still within striking distance of Luke Smith. Smith still playing chase. Now his lead is starting to grow out there for Garrett Sidnor. We are less than 40 laps left in this race. Told you guys this one would churn away pretty quick. As long as we stay under green, though. Great job. Davey Hazard revisiting pit again. This will be his 4th visit.
I bet you Davey Hazard can't wait for this night to be over.
Yeah, especially with the way it went. So good, so good, so good, so bad. Yeah, I would wonder if Luke Smith has anything for Garrett Sidnor. Most laps, I'm sure, will go to Luke Smith. Check out William Page. I would say if William Page goes up there, starts creating a little ruckus there around his admin team leader out there.
Oh, we got a caution. We got to spin turn 1.
'21 machine is around of Darren Ingram. Okay. Do you pit? I say yes. The rest of the field's a lap down.
Might as well. If you're sitting in the top 3, if you're Garrett Sidnor, Luke Smith, or Austin Hakes, I would say what's there to lose?
I would say right now a huge horseshoe is in the car of Austin Hakes right now. Not enough fuel to make it to the end. Lost the lead and is going to have a chance with another full set of tires and fuel to go out there and finally finish this race. Race off of pit road does go to Sidnor. Luke Smith, William Page. Page should have gotten the wave around. Austin Hakes.
Page is back on the lead lap.
Yep. Page back on the lead lap, so that'll give us our top 4 drivers. Unless we end up with a quick caution to put Hen Bordeaux back on the lead lap. Hen Bordeaux is coming down pit road as we speak.
You know, Patrick, we were talking about the history of Martinsville, and I actually managed to find this little piece of information. You know the driver who has the most victories in Martinsville out of everybody?
I thought it was Gordon, man. I thought he had 7.
Nope. I actually looked this up right here. The most successful driver with a total of 15 victories in Martinsville throughout his career is Richard Petty.
Really?
Yes.
Richard Petty. I wouldn't have thought that.
Yes, Petty holds a 4-win lead over Darrell Waltrip.
Huh. Damn. All right, well, as the drivers are finishing up their pits, let's go ahead and go back at Darren Ingram, bringing out our late race caution here. Contact with the wall. Davey Hazard sends him around. And the 43 of Peterson again. This guy can't get a break. Watch John Peterson. I mean, this guy. Looks like race team may be putting another radiator in.
Going back to green flag.
Yep. I'm only 2 wide here. Away we go. Sidnor's got to make his move and get back front. Last driver on the lead lap starts at the back of the longest line. So that does leave this Duke out here to our front 3 guys. Sidnor, Hakes, Smith. Now remember, Hakes has had a little chip on his shoulder there from Luke Smith earlier in the race. 26 laps left to go. Hakes to the inside of Luke Smith. And Garrett Sidnor leading this race. Looking back from Sidnor. Enjoying those fresh set of tires there. Hakes sitting with 20 seconds in the box. And he came down to 5th. Much longer in the box there for Hakes. I'm sure he had a body guy pulling out that fender off that right front tire. He had made contact with it at one point. Continue the run here. This looks like all Sidnor's race. And some of the fastest times out there on the track, though, are William Page with a 20.27. May still be chances of some danger with William Page. As you can take a look back, see a black and yellow car trying to get going there. It looked like he had a horrible turn that last run.
Looks like William Page managed to clear the lap car of Darrell Harris, so that's leaving open ground for him to focus on the top 3. So top 4 guys should be right with each other.
Yep. Dirty air. That's what we're fighting now. As Sidnor looking to upset Luke Smith out there, who won last race and had this one almost in the bag. So far, we are keeping a look out there on Austin Hakes. 22 to go. 21 at the line. Late race caution back on lap 167 out there. And now 1, 2, 3 is Sidnor, Hakes, and Smith. So it looks like Hakes may overcome here. Let's see if he can run down the leader of Garrett Sidnor. Now originally Sidnor started back in the 8th position, which is quite impressive. Only person to move up more positions is Darrell Harris, who's sitting in 5th. Started in 15th. Gives him 10 here on the night. Barney watching very closely at our racers out there. Luke Smith trying to see if he can get around Hakes again.
If you're someone like Luke Smith, you gotta figure out what do you gotta do to get back up to the front. I mean, you led the whole race. What do you gotta do to get back in that first place position?
Well, we can make up a bunch of excuses. Yeah, I don't know. He's got to reach in that bag of tricks here and come up with something. Luke Smith now starting to close the gap. William Page coming into play. Remember, Page was starting from the back of the longest line there, aside from lapped cars. Right now, 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's pretty impressive. A 20-man field. We're down to our last 4 on the lead lap. I believe we only have 11 drivers that are still mobile. Would like to thank you guys here once again for joining Simtrack's broadcast. And you can check all our previous broadcasts, current ones, or our schedule out there on simtracksbroadcasting.com. If you're looking to get one of your leagues scheduled, check out our calendar first, and then fill out an application. If it's on a day I do not currently broadcast, I'd like to take this opportunity to tip our hats out there to Davey Hazard, fine admin here of this league. Still hanging on and watching this race, unfortunately, from About a 5-6 lap deficit here for Hazard. Right now we are sitting at 13 to go. Very difficult here for Luke Smith to find any sort of a gap. But I've got to admit here, Douglas, taking a look at it, Sidnor is out front, but is not escaping.
Right.
I mean, you think the track is rubbered up a lot here, or we're just not seeing the breakaway that we would be expecting right now?
Hey, well, everybody is staying pretty much close bumper to bumper. I mean, it's only a quarter of a second between Austin Hakes and 0.6 of a second from Luke Smith. So you have to wonder, could the bump and run come into play?
The bump and run. I don't know. There's someone call that a little bit of a love tap out there. See if we can get somebody turned around. And now still waiting for a quality caution here. Is Daryl Harrison and Bordeaux. Everybody else is multiple laps down. Still trying to hang on to it here. No new drivers have taken it back to the garage yet. As we break under 10 laps left to go here at Martinsville. Track and Turf 200 is coming to an end. Oh, is that Page up into the wall?
It was.
Yep. Page having some trouble already. As I say, we're coming down. Lack of cautions, lack of laps left. Page goes up and squishes another part of that safer barrier out there.
Hopefully it was just a scrape. He didn't completely hit the wall. It was just a scrape.
All right, so no substantial body damage there.
Basically, now if you wanna pick your moment, it's pretty much got to be now.
Yeah. Well, it's going to take you a few laps to get around him. He's really got to pick and choose here. But he's running out of opportunities. As you sit looking at Garrett Sidnor, looking back on Austin Hakes. Hakes now really starting to send it into turns. Sidnor taking a look. Right now he's staying out front. Number 54 is still doing a great job. Austin Hakes. The 28 Toyota sitting right behind. Luke Smith is waiting to see if there's going to be a double pass here. But right now, Sidnor is starting to really pour on the cold. Gets a good turn exit on that one. He's able to pull away by about another 0.2 away from Mr. Hakes out there. 4 to go. So Garrett Sidnor on the same team out there as Luke Smith and William Page. Austin Hakes actually teamed up tonight with Darren Ingram, Davey Hazard, and DJ Harris. 3 to go. Right now, flawless this whole time for Garrett Sidnor. Boy, oh boy, crunch time. Here it comes, coming down the backstretch with 2 to go. White flag next time by. Sidnor now starting to stretch out that lead, 0.4 of a second. All right, Barney, let her rip.
There we go. White flag.
Yep, white flag is out. Garrett Sidnor and Austin Hakes waiting to see if Luke Smith is going to try to dive it in one last time. Here it comes. Garrett Sidnor shooting down the backstretch here. Around he goes. Austin Hakes has one last chance to send it in. He's not going to get it, boy, but he gets close.
Nope.
Almost goes up and gives him a nudge. Hakes, oh, so close. But Garrett Sidnor is going to take the win here at the Track and Turf 200. Great job there by Garrett Sidnor. Austin Hakes almost had it. I would say if Hakes was able to do that turn 3 more times, he'd have had him. But only did it on the final 2. And I don't think Sidnor was even interested in even entertaining him making that a chance at making that spot. Great job out there by Garrett Sidnor. Does a heck of a burn out there. Great job. Great job. Great job. Now let's go ahead and take a look as the burnouts continue out there for Sidnor. Find where your favorite driver ended up. Hate to see Zachary Webster leave so early in the race. Joseph Weaver, 186 down. Terry Rogers, 179 down, and so on. All right. Hen Bordeaux having a top 5 finish. Not bad. John Peterson's out there recommending that getting the motor repair and getting back out there. Peterson almost came top 10, but Davey Hazard was going to keep him far from that. All righty, Douglas, let's go ahead and try to race our drivers down, and we'll be right back.
All right.
All righty, guys, we catch up with our third place finisher, Luke Smith. Man, you were able to try to run this down. You led the first part of this race. Talk to me about the very ending here, man. What in the world happened?
Yeah, I mean, early in the race, I had it rolling good and everything was going great. And then we got that little string of cautions there after the first pit stop. And I knew that the way I was running the track, I was kind of just screwed if I was put in the sitting duck position if a caution came out. And then we got like probably a 6 or 7 lap run in, and then somebody brought out a caution. And at that point, I knew I was like, I can't pit right now because nobody's going to follow me, and I'm just going to be a sitting duck once we get out there. And I got out there to a little bit of a lead, but then Garrett was able to track me down in the long run.
Yeah, just kind of, unfortunately, kind of shrink it up there, man. Just unable to kind of tag and go. I don't know how or what else you could have done out there to really kind of reel these guys in. Would have been a different pit strategy or anything.
Yeah, I mean, Austin had that pit strategy that he did where he came in early, and if we ran green to the end, I mean, I probably would have finished second. I don't know if I had much for Garrett there. His car just, once he got in that lead, my car started driving different once I caught him, and then it just blew the back tires off the thing. I couldn't get it to sit on corner exit.
Man. Now, it's definitely hard to do, man, and not easy at any point in time, especially when we've got a track like Martinsville. It's so little room for error out there, man, just trying to hang on and continue the roll and hope for some sort of success out there. Man, I'm wondering. We had a solid run, man. We ended up scoring on the pole. I mean, did this race go the way you thought it was, or did you think this might have been a caution-filled one?
I mean, I definitely thought there was going to be maybe a couple more cautions, but with the lower car count, I was thinking maybe we can go flag to flag, and then I thought, maybe we'll get a couple sprinkled in there, but then we started getting a couple strings there, and I couldn't do anything with it. The way I usually run this track, it's just set to go from start of the run to either a caution or a pit stop, and it didn't help me out any with putting a couple heat cycles on those things.
Well, we do move away from the short track, and it looks like we go super speedway next time. I would probably say everybody's normal answer is everybody has a chance, but Talladega is what we're looking at next week. What's our confidence level leaving here with a third place finish in Talladega?
Well, I mean, I really don't know how I feel. I know that I was running first or second in the Daytona race earlier in the season until the last lap when we made and some people made some questionable moves and I got sent into the inside wall, but I feel good about it. I feel like I got a chance, and I know I'm one of the better pushers, so I know that I got a shot.
Well, I would say everybody has a shot to that final dog leg on the final lap where we see some guys make it almost 3 wide across the line. Luke, go ahead and give me a shout-outs here while I got you.
First off, I want to shout out the guy that paints my cars, John Peterson. He put his face on this car, and I'm upset I couldn't put it in victory lane, but I'll take a top 3. I'd like to shout out BRE Cam. He's got this team, and we're only 2 cars, and because he's in Darlington, we're only down to 1 tonight, and yeah, I put it in the top 3. And I'd like to shout out Jay Tway, who's a JPR affiliate, and he's watching this broadcast right now, I'm pretty sure. So shout out to him. You're awesome to run with in the trucks.
All right, Luke. Well, I definitely hope to see you guys. I'll see you actually earlier than that. I will see you in the truck series. So, man, good luck to you out there, and we'll see what you can do at each of those tracks.
Thank you.
All right, third place finish there by Luke Smith. Moving on to our second place finisher, that does give us Austin Hakes. And Austin Hakes, man, oh man, did he have a run here tonight. And the only one to first upset Luke Smith out there is Austin. Austin Hakes, talk to me about the race, man. Definitely it's kind of got a little tight on you out there.
Yeah, so qualified second, which is pretty good. Quickly fell back. I was a little off. I knew I was off of like Luke was really fast, Davey was fast. I hit the wall. I don't know what lap. It had to be like lap 80 or something. I smashed the wall on one of those restarts racing those guys. I was trying to give a couple exciting laps out there on the outside. Smoked the wall. Then the handling went away pretty bad. So that's why I pit early. I picked like lap 91, I think it was. I knew it wasn't gonna work, but I thought maybe something could have maybe a caution. I don't know. Just ended up getting that caution and somehow held off Luke. He was fast all night, so I was excited to get around him. Thought I had a shot at Garrett. I feel like I was a little bit quicker than he was, but I just couldn't get there in the end.
Well, last lap you were, and I was kind of joking here with Douglas saying if you had sent it in to turn 3 and 4 like that about 3 laps earlier, I think there may have been a chance you guys side by side at the line.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was like 6 or 7 to go. The handling kind of started to go away, and I lost quite a bit of ground. And I was just like, man, if I didn't lose that ground, I think I would have been there. Because I closed up pretty quick in 3 and 4 on the last lap.
All right, man. Out of the short track, onto the super speedway of Dega. Happy about that selection?
I wouldn't say I'm happy, but it gives everybody a shot to win. You just never know what can happen in those things. it could be carnage. You could go green the whole race. So sometimes there's strategy, sometimes there's not. You just never know. But looking forward to having the opportunity to race with these guys. They're a good group of guys. It's always fun. I enjoy it. So
Yeah. Shout out time.
yeah, I just want to thank my sponsor, Outlier Speed Co. My teammate Davey Hazard at PTR. He had a speeding penalty, but he was fast tonight. And you guys for broadcasting the league. You guys have been doing our trucks and our Cup Series, so we really appreciate all the stuff you've done for us, and look forward to more in the future.
All right, appreciate you, Austin Hakes, man, and I hope to see you come away with a win here pretty soon. I think you got one lined up, especially with a run like tonight. Good luck to you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
All right, that's going to do it for Austin Hakes, moving us on to our race winner here of Garrett Sidnor. Garrett, this race, man, great job holding out.
Yeah. Oh, Martinsville of all places. Oh my goodness.
Well, talk about. All right, let's start with your qualifying time. What in the world happened?
I felt like I had a really good long run car, and that was kind of the highlight of my night, because like I couldn't quite barrel it down into the corner early in a run like everybody else could, but yeah, so we started out in 8th place, which was kind of in the danger zone early, and it definitely got us there on that second restart, getting some contact with Zach, and I think he spun the tires in front of me and got some hood damage, and but other than that, yeah, I mean, we just didn't fire off really well, but I mean, once we got to about lap 30 of the run, we were rolling.
Man, and what an awesome job, though. I would say you waited it out till mistakes were made and then attacked. And I think your pit strategy and the way you pit was, I don't know, man. It was like you were half a second faster in the box, but then you guys were almost identical coming out of pit lane. Was there any tricky parts of this track that just kind of upset you or upset the car at all tonight?
Yeah, I mean, definitely was kind of a combination of like I think most people all night that were behind me or in front of me were trying to apex it. They'd get down like hard on the bottom, try to wash up a little bit, and then drive off. I felt like I could do that, and there were times where I just hugged the bottom the entire way around, and I felt good doing either. So I mean, that's how good the car felt in the long run. Is I could put it where I wanted to. I felt smooth on the brakes, which is hard to believe at a track like this, but where you have to be very, very at the top of your game with your braking. So I never would have thought in the amount of years I've been doing racing that I would ever win at Martinsville. Yeah.
All right, well, you do unseat a couple of past champions here. Jeff Dixon, Cal Lovell, and William Page. Two of those guys were actually here tonight who have one win here. Jake Oakley had 2 wins here, and you unseat the champion of Davey Hazard, who's come out here and won 3 times tonight. Davey Hazard was pretty fast tonight, and you were racing around him out there for a little while. I mean, what did he have that just seemed to be a little bit different, where it looked like he could have capitalized tonight if he didn't end up with any speeding penalties?
Yeah, I mean, they were doing a heck of a job. Those 2 PTR cars of Aussie and Davey. I mean, that's the thing, is they've been really good, potent on these short tracks throughout the years, and just to be able to be up front and be competitive like that at a short track, it means a lot to me. And I just like I said earlier, I just felt like once we got rolling, everybody else had kind of like drove off the right rear too hard, and it just felt like we could gun it off the corner a lot better than other people. And I think that was our strong suit, was just being able to get off the corner. Compared to the rest of the cars. So yeah, that's kind of just how it went.
And it does bring a lot of relief locking you into the playoffs this early into the season, but that does mean we head to Talladega next week. Boy, I would say it doesn't matter where you start, you can win, but you can definitely ruin your race really quick by a bozo move out there. How nervous are you heading to Talladega now that the sights are on you for coming off a win here tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we won Daytona, the opener, earlier this year. So, and then we won Talladega last year in a very right place, right time kind of mindset. So, I feel like we've been really good on these plate tracks as of lately. But it's it's a little bit of everything. Like, you got to be up front, but you also got to be out of the trouble and be in the right place, right time, and who's helping you. Because I mean, it's all about who's helping you the whole night. And if they're not there at the end, then you don't have a shot. So, Yeah, I feel like next week, it'll be a good opportunity for just to kind of go out there and, we have 2 wins now and I think we're leading points. So just kind of go out there and make something happen again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty tough, man, to see how these guys kind of work with each other. I would say yes, low car count tonight, but I got a feeling that's we're gonna be back up in the 30s next week. Garrett, go ahead and give me your shout outs.
Yeah, the fish you had Long John Silver's Ford was really fast tonight, and I appreciate Ray Tussin, John Peterson, all the JPR guys that help out with the designing those paint schemes every season, every week. And thank you to William Page for helping me out, getting acclimated to the Moza wheel over the last couple of weeks, and all the other front row sponsors I put on my cars every week, Generator and Love Travel Stops, and Mom and Dad. I don't know if they're watching this. Pretty late for them, but I know they've had a rough week, and this one's out to them. And yeah, those are my shout outs for tonight. I appreciate you guys.
All right, Garrett Sednor, congratulations on your win here at the Track and Turf 200. We'll see you at Talladega.
All righty, thank you very much.
Yep. All right, Douglas, what a race, man. It actually went a lot better than I thought. We only had a few cautions there, and then, boy, we had a stretch all the way from lap 55. Next time we saw one was lap 167. Was the next caution that we saw come out. So awesome to see these guys definitely get their act together, start driving like they got some sense and knocking down some green flag times. And especially thank you to all of our subscribers out there going ahead and messaging us. I see you out there, Min-Age. Appreciate you for hanging in there. And definitely keep an eye out there for the next link that we'll have lined up for you guys for the upcoming schedule. Definitely you can check out that schedule at simtracksbroadcasting.com. Douglas Ross, any final words here?
Definitely can't wait for Talladega next weekend, and we will see you guys until then.
All right, super speedway time. I am excited. That's going to be an absolute blast. All right, well, that's going to do it for Simtracks Broadcasting, the USORL. Thank you guys for joining us here tonight. Be well, be safe, be kind, and we'll see all you guys next time.